Greetings and welcome to the Sawblade 666 YouTube channel. I'm Daniel Sawblade.
And I'm Cartoon Ryan.
And today we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Abby Stabby from the UK.
Yeah. And by the way, this is Abby's birthday present.
And what a birthday present. Woo!
This is a piece of original art from Eric Powell, who is a cartoonist from, where is he from?
Nashville, I believe.
Okay, Nashville. And it's only been recently that I've familiarized myself with his work because Abby kind of brought more artwork to the name. I only knew the name, and in passing I would see certain things, but really looking at his stuff lately, it's just been awe-inspiring. Not only the quality, but the output that this man achieves. It's just prolific.
Oh, so
beyond
prolific.
belief.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. But today we're going to look, and I've always wanted to do this, by the way, and I've seen others do it, but I've always wanted to compare a original piece of comic art, a page from a comic, the original piece compared to the printed version, how it ends up in print. So here we can see the size difference of an original art page of comic art compared to what gets published. And this is standard size. And this is issue 5 of Hillbilly. And we're going to be looking at page 5, which is the original piece here. Mm-hmm. Did you want to get a brief synopsis on what Hillbilly is about? I haven't read it.
Yeah, so effectively Hillbilly is kind of, imagine like grim fairy tales but set in the Appalachian Mountains in a pretty sort of indistinct time. And the main character, who I can never quite remember the pronunciation of the name, whether it's Rondell or Rondell, but he's the namesake of the comic, and it follows him and his small group of friends and how they encounter each of these mythical creatures. And they're all pretty self-contained, but there is a running side story throughout that brings it all together towards the final issue.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's very different to the Goon in that there's a lot more of an experimental kind of sketchy art style in it, which I think works to the sort of fairy tale element of it.
Which actually brings me to my next point in observing the technique used in this art. And that was one of the things I noticed compared to Goon, which has more of an inked traditional cartoon style.
Yeah.
This is pencil sketch, basically. Really dashed out, if you notice. Just quick, but it works so well.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing is the application of these ink washes in certain places.
That's what I was about to ask. Is that just like ink wash kind of throughout mixed in? And it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah, it adds a neat effect, especially back here.
Yeah.
Which we're going to notice the similarities and differences to what happens to art when it gets printed.
And it's really cool to see it kind of fade in, like in this direction on this panel. And also in here with the doorway scene, you can see it applied in here. It's really cool to see. It gives it a lot of volume.
As we're all professionals here, and what's interesting to me is I'm so grounded. See, I know technology has changed and printing techniques have changed, and printing this type of work isn't a new thing, but I come from a mindset and a time period where, you had to keep in mind the finished ink line for things. Especially if you're going on newsprint. This isn't printed on newsprint, but I guess with new printing techniques, I guess kind of like in a book, you're able to print just pencils. You know, and this wash as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we've tried it, but when you scan pencils or work like this, it doesn't seem to translate well in the scan. So what I was going to ask you, Ryan, on a production level, if this was scanned in,
you don't scan it in as black and white. That's the first thing. You scan it in as either grayscale or color.
Okay.
Because if you scan it in as black and white, you're going to lose a lot of these.
It's not going to show up.
No.
Yeah.
If you scan it in as black and white, it's almost like it looks like those old school newspaper. What is it? The old school in the libraries, the film that you're looking at of old papers. What do they call that? Microfilm or something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know the name of that.
But it looks like that. It has that. It's basically just black and white, pure black and white, no shades of any kind. So yeah, when you scan it in, you got to do grayscale or color for something like that.
Okay.
That's why it doesn't translate well sometimes if you scan stuff in.
And when you see the printed version, you may be able to even add to that.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to comment on was his lack of use of gutters for the panels. I've always been afraid to do that.
Yeah.
I know it's a thing that you can do, but for me, it's really easy to get things confused.
Yep.
He achieved, I mean, there's no question what's going on each of these panels, which is good. One thing, though, and I wouldn't call this, I mean, I don't know, it could be kind of a tangent, this tree trunk going into this light where the shadows being cast
because it's
on the
lined
top
up
panel.
exactly with it.
But it's, if I would say if this negative space was straight up and down, then it would be more of an issue.
Yeah.
But because it's angled, it breaks it apart. So I guess it works.
I also think this spot, this amount of ink in here breaks it up pretty well too.
Yeah, it separates it.
Yeah.
Just awesomely composed. I love the way that hand's drawn.
Yeah.
I love the slight hint gray wash up in this corner. The mixing of the graphite with the ink wash is inspiring. I've never tried that. I've tried ink wash several times, but not on pencil.
Yeah.
Which gives it just like you were pointing out earlier, this crazy textured effect.
I really love this panel a lot because of that effect.
It's so good.
That's great.
Really
you can
well.
really it gives the illusion of the light coming into a dark room.
A lot of motion.
Yeah.
Like it could be dust or
And
smoke.
I love the separation he did around the man and the dogs.
Yeah. Just a great piece. I stared at it quite a while when it showed up in the mail.
I can imagine.
Let's go to page 5 and look at the final result.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. So it's broken up a little more.
Let's see if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it that way.
There you go.
Way.
There you go.
So right away, and this is what Abby and I noticed right away, was not much has changed.
No,
just the
it really
addition of
hasn't.
this sepia tone, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
So you were saying, Abby, so after this work is scanned in, right?
Yeah.
You just add like a filter of this color over it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. Like people tend to use like the it's either like the color burn or the multiply tool in like Photoshop or say Procreate or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you do one of the filters, and if you're using Procreate, same thing. Or Clip Studio, you get a filtered effect. You can do like burn or dodge, all those things, but you can either do that or you can do linear burn.
Yeah.
That's the one I use a lot, and it can filter out stuff. You can add like a film almost effect over stuff. So that's probably what they did with this.
You can see that here some of this was lost.
Yes.
And here's some, not enough to ruin it.
No,
But there is some that's missing that looks beautiful right here.
Yeah.
Like you could, and as an artist, and you see your stuff in print, you look at the final to make adjustments next time when you choose to do it this way.
Yeah.
Just as mental notes. Oh, I need to do this here to get this effect to show up more or whatever. But man, excellent choice on how this was just.
And it's really cool to see how it's spaced. You know, the panels are spaced, and then you see the original. He just crammed it all together.
Yeah,
no separation.
Again, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's gutters here, but not on the page.
That's what's crazy.
I would have drawn them on the page.
Me too.
And here they were just added.
Yeah, that's what I noticed right away.
Which automatically takes care of this tangent problem.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I can't.
That's interesting. He did it like that.
It is.
I don't really see that.
Is it to maybe save time where you don't have to rule out your?
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's interesting.
It does take me a while to set up my panels when I'm drawing to even evenly space.
That's probably what he did. He just to save time. He just measured out the full.
Yeah.
The full length, and then divided it up in sections.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder whether he used like masking tape or something to sort of
Yeah.
separate it off in each section as it was working, right? Because if I did something like that, I'd be so scared of bleed happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me either. Yeah, I have to have panel or gutters
Yeah.
to divide it up.
Yeah.
A little easier for me.
And I'm sure this was digitally edited.
Yeah.
In here, they just
most likely
broke
Just
it up.
a few little tweaks. Yeah.
Well, for the
to break it up specifically.
the gutters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What else do I have to say? I'm just blown away. I'm really glad to have the opportunity to I'm glad we found this issue. Abby has
me
us
too.
back home, but we found
Yeah, I'm glad we found one out in the wild.
out and about, and we decided to pick it up to do this deep dive into reverse engineering. It's fun to think about how things were done in comparison also to how you work. You know,
Oh yeah, for sure.
these were left in just how he hand lettering for sound effects.
I really like that they did that.
Yeah.
It's really, just looking close, I didn't really alter much of anything. The only thing they altered was the tones, the sepia tone.
Yeah, they just added a little bit of like a mid-tone in
And
there
this
as
one, they
well.
darkened this a little bit more to show how pitch black it is outside.
Yeah.
So you can tell they toned it way down there. But I love this. That's powerful.
That's great.
Yeah, that's powerful.
And that's the thing. This issue as well. It's about the Talipo, which is like it's like a specifically Appalachian mythical creature. And I've actually, because I'm obviously from somewhere else, like I've learned a lot just reading through these issues with Hillbilly and learning differences in folklore from place to place.
Right.
That's been great.
The one other observation I want to make, it's really cool to see this ink wash transition come through on the scan as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's really cool because you can see that darkness over here and then the illusion of the light.
Yeah.
Coming from the door.
They really did an amazing job of scanning this in. It's about as high resolution as it gets.
Does make me wonder what kind of scanner they use.
I want to
and
know.
where can I get one?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Also, I want to make note of the rendering in the face, separating the planes of this face. Excellent. I mean, it's just beautifully drawn.
You can see a few flavors of Bernie in there, like a little bit.
Yeah, you can definitely see that. The other thing, shrinking it down some tightens it up as well. When you scan stuff in at high res and you draw, it looks even sharper, so that helps as well.
I'm sure the colorists also made note to brighten those up because here they're almost covered with the graphite. Good,
Yeah.
good move there.
Yeah, he probably just punched it out where the windows are.
Yeah, I mean,
It's really cool.
it's really. This is my first time today really having a look,
Yeah.
just moving my eye
Yeah.
back and forth, and man, I'm blown away.
And this is my first time ever seeing an original piece of
Yeah,
comic art with an actual,
for me in
mate,
person, it is.
it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Same here.
It's
It's
really cool
exciting, isn't it?
experience. Yeah, this is a cool experience. I've never.
You as a cartoonist, which we all are here.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
all
learn. You learn from this.
definitely.
You really learn from looking at this, and it
Yeah.
affects your work.
Yep.
In a good way.
And
you
you're
learn
always
what decisions to make and not make.
and you're always learning. You never stop learning.
No,
never,
No,
never,
never.
never.
Once you stop, you've lost.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
never
can't-
stop learning.
You can't just decide you know it all.
Yeah,
No.
complacency can be a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Don't get complacent.
Absolutely. I don't know what else you
Yeah, I don't
guys have
any-
to add on this. I'm
Go
sure
read Hillbilly.
Yeah.
Go read
Go
Hillbilly.
read Hillbilly.
Go
It's
Yeah.
check out
amazing.
Eric Powell.
Eric
His
Powell's
work is
the man.
amazing.
Yeah.
Albatross Funny Books. That's his.
Yeah,
That's his publishing.
Amazing cartoonist.
yeah, he is.
I hope to meet him one day.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would
yeah,
be
Me
awesome.
too.
Stunning cover art, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love all his stuff.
Oh, it's great. It's great. We'll
I
have
like
to
the
take a look at the art book.
cover art on the second, the second run release of Hillbilly, because it's all much more sketch based, kind of akin to
Yeah.
this sort of thing with a little bit of color spotting in it. Oh, it's like I want to get the second run just to have them for the covers.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, this about wraps it up for this little session here. Hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we have. Mm-hmm. And in the future, we'll. I have just a small collection. I don't have a lot, but we'll take a look at original pieces as well as the printed ones. So
Yeah, definitely.
just an additional feature to the channel that hope you guys enjoy. Check out the other channels, like and subscribe. And Thursday nights we hang out on here on YouTube and draw.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Central Time
Yeah.
every Thursday. So come join us.
Thanks, guys.